throws a shoulder for good measure.
On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. This one the other way. He gets no going back. Got the track. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries a play. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
Adam Cheney in lane 6, number 3 in the country with a season best 44.13. Also, having an excellent season, leading the country in the 200 back is JT Ewing from the Sun Devils over in lane 2. We've got Cheney 21.54, Henderson 21.92. Excellent swim going for Henderson. The NCAA cut, I believe, is 46.29. We're going to have a couple folks under that mark. Cheney with about a 3/4 length over the flags. 44.68 for the heat win. Henderson also under the NCAA qualifying standard. And Ewing third at 46.53, about 3/4 tenths off. Again, we're having not before time.
All right. 20 laps in the 500 freestyle in lane 1 from Utah, Sydney Marinello. Lane 2 from Arizona, Claire Christie. Lane 3 from BYU, Cher Patrick. Lane 4 from BYU, Melissa Turlia. Lane 5 from Utah, Abigail Pope. Lane 6 from BYU, Kara Martinson. And lane 7 from Kansas, Sammy Cummings. Looks like lane 1 is not Sydney Marinello, but lane 1 from Utah is Sophia Cinnamon. Sorry about that. We are coming up at the 200-yard mark, and it looks like lane 4. We have Melissa Tullia from BYU in the lead. Just a hair back from Maddie's lane 7, Kara Martinson from BYU.
We note that Tiffany went last week when teammates like Salo and Brienne just looking under the 154.95 NCAA standard. So ASU had 4 posts under the standard in that last event. The women's 500, the NCAA time is 4:43.70.
Welcome on in, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps. Yes, it is Taco Tuesday, and we are getting started really late. But the reason for that is the women's Final Four. As you know, Sun Devils host school, forks up to that, for the women's Final Four. And since you do know that, there was a nice, awesome event this morning with a phenomenal panel of again, who was there? I mean, it was emceed by Autumn Johnson, who's a digital reporter for the NCAA. Also, Amanda Braun, we're going to hear from her, the chair of the NCAA Division I's Women's Basketball Committee. Amanda Braun, we're actually going to hear from Lynn Holtzman, who's the vice president of women's basketball for the NCAA. Autumn Johnson, like I said, hosted it. Jay Perry, she is the CEO of Phoenix Final Four local organization. You remember just during the first season of Pitchfork Lunch, we talked to her because the men's Final Four, its second time here was its second time here. So yes, absolutely awesome. She was there as well, as was Ron Price, the president and CEO of Visit Phoenix. And for ASU, John Bartelstein, the CEO of the Phoenix Suns and Mercury, obviously WNBA run to the finals. Mercury, yeah, that team. And then Kate Gallego, the mayor of the city of Phoenix, was there, as was but then for ASU, Graham Rossini, obviously the athletic director who inherited this event, and also Molly Miller, women's head coach, got a game tomorrow against BYU, as you guys know. So yes, that is why we're starting as we are. But again, going to bring a lot of that to you. So yes, very, very awesome. That I was able to cover that. Again, one-man band here on Pitchfork Lunch, but we're onward and upward, man. We are, again, rolling in the right direction, my friends. So that being said, I digress. I am Michael Carrasino at Diablo001X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it. You love it. You can check out the show live there every day, normally Monday through Friday, 12 to 1 today, from about 1 to 2. Yes, so about 1 to 2. But yes, the IG, Michael.Caratonito.5, as you guys know. And last but not least, guys, the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and watch live, but subscribe. I said apply. Subscribe. Yes, apply to work at YouTube, but still watch my show live on YouTube. All you got to do, because again, you have missed a plethora of phenomenal conversations, coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, an athletic director who crossing the fingers, finally going to get scheduled next week, although it is a very busy week for him, but get scheduled next week. And that is that. So that being said, you have missed a ton on there. He's been on, and we're going to have him on again, obviously, in the lieu of the Final Four being here, in which he inherited as athletic director. But yes, and staff, because it did. We heard this a few times. It does take a huge village to get this put on, and it's going to be awesome here in Phoenix. Everything's going to be like downtown. Lots of stuff for free, FREE, and no, not just a T-shirt and a little mini souvenir basketball. So there will be T-shirts though, and actually you can get a basketball at the dribble event. But we'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. But yeah, so go to YouTube and guys, watch live and subscribe. And you see my name, Michael Caratanudo. My page is at MS and Michael V is in Victory Season Champ 005. At MVC005 on YouTube, guys, and subscribe. Because somebody's honking their horn because they need to subscribe. See, look at that. Yeah, and you can again go back, and I'm happy you're here. At Pitchfork Lunchers, you rock. If you're just joining in for the first time, again, stoked you're here. But you know what I'm saying? Shame on you. Where have you been? Because, like I said, you have missed a ton of awesomeness. Like I said, whether it be from coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, athletic director, phenomenal alum. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty rocking, guys. So do not be bashful. Do not be bashful as you can check it out and get all caught up. You can binge watch season 1 and then keep watching season 3. Binge watch season 2. Again, a lot to binge watch. Keep watching season 3. And then, we're hitting the time of year to where if you are doing that, you'll be ready for season 4 when we get rolling next August or this August. So that being said, just saying, you can do it, get it caught up. But again, so much there to you in, around, and through Sun Devil Nation. And like I said, it is always awesome when we catch up with athletes, coaches, alum, everybody. That's why, hence, we started this. But I digress. So yes, today, and I brought you in on swimming there because, again, the Big 12 championships, my friends, are this Saturday. This weekend, swim and dive is headed to the Big 12 championships in North Carolina. Yes, Greensboro. I know. Talked about it yesterday. They are, men's and women's headed to Big 12s, but they are starting today. Today's the 24th. And, oh, yeah, that's right, going through Saturday. They don't start Saturday through Tuesday. It starts today and goes through Saturday. Just thinking out loud. Anyway, so, yeah, they've been rocking since 8 a.m. Prelims are at started at 8 a.m., finals at 4 p.m. For the swim and dive championships. And fans, by the way, it is all on ESPN Plus with both preliminary and finals being streamed all 5 days, and follow along with live results. Natalie Kelbat, Smacker Miles, and ASU swim alumnus Kyle Sockwell will serve as talent on the call. So forks up to Kyle. Awesome. And let's see if we can. Um, um, so yes, a lot of action going on right now, but um, so so time trials are all today. By the way, they start at 10 a.m. Prelims start tomorrow at so at 10 a.m. tomorrow, prelims we have the 500-yard freestyle, the 200-yard IM, and the 50 freestyle. Um, and then at 11:30, by the way, tomorrow, women's 1 meter diving and men's 3 meter diving go, and it says time trials optional. Um, and then Friday or Wednesday, it says finals 15 minutes after prelims, the women's 1 mile consolation, the men's 3 mile consolation. Or 1 meter, sorry. 1 meter, not mile, 1 meter consolation, men's 3 meter consolation. And then 5:15 women's 1 meter diving is the final. And then 6 tomorrow night, you get the 500 free, the 200 IM, and the 50 free. And at the men's 3 meter diving, I'll be going on at 6 tomorrow night. So yeah, I mean, that's the schedule, time trials today, all that good stuff. But again, Forks up the swim and dive as they're in, again, so odd, North Carolina. William said it yesterday. Again, they put bids in it. Oh man. Well, I don't know if he would. Well, I'm sure he would know. But anywho, I meant to find that out and I did not check. But obviously, I know for a fact. Obviously, it was bid. So one of the North Carolina ACC schools, North Carolina State, maybe Duke. I don't know. Put in for it, but yeah. So um, um, but yeah. So that's again starting. Well, I mean, time trials today, but tomorrow, getting going with it. So that is. Um, but yeah, so like I said, tomorrow, prelims and finals in the 500-yard free. I know, yeah, 500-yard free, both men's and women's. 200-yard IM and the 50 free is Wednesday, and the finals with diving thrown in there too. And then Thursday we have the 100 butterfly, the 400 IM, and the 200 free. And then men's 1 meter diving at 5:15, And at 6 p.m., the finals for the 100 fly, and then the 400 IM, the 200 free, women's 3-meter diving, and the 4x100 medley is just straight finals. So that is Thursday. And then Friday, the penultimate day, we have the 200 fly, the 100 breaststroke. Well, both. Okay, the 200 fly, the 100-yard breaststroke, and the 100 backstroke. And then at 6, again, finals of the 200 fly, 100 breaststroke, 100 backstroke, and the men's platform diving also at 6 p.m. The finals on Friday, and 200 freestyle relay, which is just all finals. So that will and then Saturday, to wrap it up, the 200-yard backstroke, the 100 free, and the 200-yard breaststroke. At 10 a.m., the preliminaries for that. At 11:30, women's platform diving. And then at 2:45, the 1650 freestyle. That is a fun event. And then at 6 p.m., you have the 200-yard backstroke, the 100-yard free, the 1650 freestyle, the 200-yard breaststroke, women's platform diving, and the 400 freestyle relay finals. So, yes, a lot, and that'll wrap up Saturday. And keeping up with the results and letting you know, and we'll see if the Devils bring home a back-to-back Big 12 champs on the men's and women's side. So, forks up to them. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that. But let's talk women's Final Four, my friends, because it is absolutely awesome that it will be here in 37 days, like I was saying to you. So yes, I will just show you a teeny bit. Actually, yes, we will. Yes, I will bring you a teeny bit. It's cool because again, the way it was hosted and everything, just absolutely money job. But yes, here's a little welcome to it, and this is from Autumn Johnson, who's the digital reporter and host. I mean, she's done a phenomenal job. So yes, we shall hear from Autumn Johnson as she kicked off the event. And then we're going to hear a little bit from let's just hear from Autumn Johnson first. How about we just do that? Make it easy, my friends. Make it easy. We will make it very easy. And yes, here she is. Here's Miss Autumn Johnson.
And reporter of March Madness Women's Basketball. I am the host and reporter of March Madness Women's Basketball. And today I have the honor and privilege of being your MC for this conference to get us ready for the Final Four here in Phoenix. How are we feeling? Yes. In fact, this is the first time since Denver 2012 that we'll bring the Final Four back to the West Coast. We are so excited, and we can't wait to see which 4 teams will meet us here today. Jam-packed hour ahead of us. You'll hear from many key people and also partners involved in making this championship experience the best of the best. We'll talk about the Women's Final Four, what it means to women's basketball, the community, and fans. So let's get right into it. Please help me welcome the CEO of the Phoenix Final Four Local Organizing Committee, Jay Perry.
So you saw it right there, Autumn Johnson, who is the digital reporter for the NCAA, again, doing a lot of women's covering women's hoops, but also just NCAA hoops in general. So that is awesome. And again, had the again bright colors out here in Arizona. The weather, yeah, great time to be here. So yes, that was that. And then Jay Perry, like I said, she is the CEO of the Phoenix Final Four local organization committee, which guys, a ton goes into that. We're gonna hear from her, and then we're also we're gonna hear from her right now. Actually, you're gonna hear a little bit from her, and then we're gonna take a break, finish up hearing from her, and then we'll come back and we'll hear from the panel that Molly Miller was on, which again, talking about a lot of stuff, but I want to bring that to you because again, you'll see what's coming here for the women's tournament. I'm going to bring it to you more than once. You're going to see us before, after the tournament selection too, but inevitably it does not matter because you, again, need to get it out there because women's Final Four, just amazing things. And you're going to hear as to, again, like when we see the panel with Coach Miller on it, and Jay Perry is there as well. But all that's going on for the women's Final Four, absolutely money. So, again, no need to be bashful. But yes, it is. It is going to be a phenomenal time and just the popularity of the tournament and where it's going to be in 28 and 29, where the Final Four is going to be. You're going to hear from that as well. You're going to hear that as well. So again, a lot going on. But yes, let's hear from Jay, who has done. She's done her and her group though have done a phenomenal job. And so here is Jay, and just remember, like I said, she is the CEO of the Phoenix Final Four local organizing committee. And that group again, and you're going to hear what they what they have to do and all that. I mean, it is just again, what they have to do again, but having done it before, it's just, again, it's awesome what they do. So without further ado, here is Jay talking about what's going to be going on, what obviously they've been working on, the groups that have helped them, the reading is awesome. Just let's hear from her, Jay.
And good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Phoenix Final Four Local Organizing Committee, thank you for being here to tip off this amazing event that we are so excited to host. In just a few weeks, Phoenix will host the Women's Final Four for the first time. And at this moment, it's incredible when women's basketball is capturing more attention, more energy, more enthusiasm than ever before. We're seeing record-breaking attendance, incredible viewership, and just fans showing up in really powerful ways, not just across our country, but across the world. Last year at the Women's Final Four in Tampa, we saw fans travel from 50 states, but also 23 countries. This is definitely a global game, and all of them want to be a part of this championship experience. That is the reach of this game. And here in Arizona, we are ready to not only meet that moment, but to exceed expectations and make this the best women's Final Four yet. Right? Good hands with Mayor Kate Gallego.
Championship Valley rises again. I'm so excited to welcome the Women's Final Four to downtown Phoenix. Jay, thank you for your leadership, and to all of our incredible partners from the NCAA to Sun Devil Athletics and Player 15 Group. We are going to put on a great show. The national championship and incredible fun, friendly activities for the whole family are coming to downtown Phoenix. We do an incredible job at major events, and I'm confident, Jay, that we can rise to your challenge. This will be the best women's Final Four. I am so thrilled to be here with my colleagues at the City of Phoenix. Could our Phoenix City Council members please stand? To Vice Mayor Hutch Washington, Councilwoman Betty Guardado, Councilwoman Ana Hernandez, and Councilwoman Ann O'Brien. You may notice we are a supermajority women. The fact that we have so many women in leadership in Arizona makes this Final Four even more exciting. We also have a great professional team at the City of Phoenix, including our lead on major events, Cynthia Aguilar, who is here with us, and so many great people at the City of Phoenix who are working so hard to make sure that this is a really special event for the entire community. And I'm so proud to be mayor of a great basketball town, Phoenix, Arizona. What a year we have had with women's basketball, Coach Miller, and the incredible performance of our Sun Devils. They are so much fun to watch and just really care about the whole community. And I gotta be honest, it's coming off an incredible season for our Mercury, so. The Women's Final Four represents the pinnacle of women's college basketball, and Phoenix is so proud to stand with these incredible athletes. The championship celebrates more than greatness on the court. It builds on our success and commitment to supporting major events. We win big with local impacts for our community. We'll have a chance to celebrate thought leadership that discuss excellence in our city, support for women, and the incredible sports business environment we have here. We're in an era where now sports is an asset class you want to be invested in, and we have so many great leading companies here we'll get a chance to showcase. As the mother of a third grader, I am very excited to celebrate the Read to the Final Four, to celebrate the next generation academically. Anytime you can get more kids reading is good news to me, and just those in the environment. Those are some competitive third graders about who can read more, and they really feel the pride in the community and are very excited. So thank you to our partners at Helios for that partnership. We are also thrilled the NCAA Women's Final Four Legacy Project presented by Dove will strengthen the Alhambra Village neighborhood with vital renovations at the Washington Activity Center in Councilwoman Guardado's district. And we can't wait to see the finishing touches unveiled early in April. We have some incredible young athletes here, and they are really going to enjoy this great investment. There'll be so many free events. You just have to register. Within my household, the bounce is also a favorite. Although at a previous Final Four, my child thought it was a race. But great to see those basketballs bouncing through the city of Phoenix. The great basketball is a wonderful matchup for our great City of Phoenix weather. If all of our media partners could report on what the weather is like in the rest of the country right now, we would really appreciate that. We're going to showcase our culture, our beautiful weather, and our friendly hospitality. So we're ready to be the center of women's basketball universe and take a look at the screens for a glimpse of what is yet to come.
There's a lot of awesomeness yet to come. You saw Mayor Kate Gallego there, obviously, after Jay talking about it. But yeah, it's one of those things where, guys, I mean, you can't. You can't, again, like she said, the bouncing the ball goes through downtown, and we're going to hear from the panels about a lot of the free stuff that's going on too. So that is absolutely awesome. And the reading contest, like I said, the third graders, and over, you said like, there's like huge amounts of hours reading that have been read. So yes, it is just absolutely awesome to see that. So, but yeah, I mean, you could hear it there, and you heard just, it's cool for the kids and exciting, and just, I mean, hear Coach Miller talk about it, inspiration stuff, and how they're inspired. And she's got, Molly's minis already doing the reading thing here. And just, I mean, the stories that, she was able to share there too. And like what, again, the popularity of this game has become. And like Coach Miller says, from the story. So take a quick break. We're going to hear from Coach Miller. We're going to hear a little bit of Coach Miller. We're going to hear from, going to play again some of the panel as it gets up to that, but we'll hear from Graham Rossini as well, the phenomenal Sun Devil athletic director, and we'll hear from Coach Miller as well too. So yes, take a break, but we're also again going to talk baseball as they are taking on Oklahoma tonight. Men's hoops taking on TCU in Dallas tonight. Women's hoops taking on BYU tomorrow. Lacrosse has a game that started an hour ago today, so midweek for lacrosse as well too. Yeah, so we'll get to it. Again, don't go too far, and we will have much more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up. All right, back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it, and yes, we all enjoy it. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, along with my IG at michael.caratino.5. And the phenomenal YouTube, as you guys know, I share with you. I mean, I may have shared it once or twice or 1,000 times, whatever. But but yes, let's hear from, and again, go to YouTube again. It's at Evans and Michael V's and Victory Season Champ 005 at MVC 005 and watch live, but do subscribe. But yes, let's hear from Graham Rossini again, talking a little bit about it. And I got to ask him about, obviously, because this was already bid for and won before he got hired as athletic director. So yeah, he had a little bit to say. And yeah, I mean, again, just very, very busy, very, very busy athletic director, which, you know, as you would expect, an athletic director, you know, they talk about no off season for, you know, players or coaches or, you know, a sport with, you know, especially in college with recruiting, as you guys know, and bringing you just, again, you know, transfer portal, all that good stuff. Like, it's one of those things where, yeah, so he inherited this amongst having to turn things around and electricity and coach hirings. Hey, here's the women's Final Four too. So yes, let's hear from Sun Devil, awesome Sun Devil alum and athletic director Graham Rossini.
Top 25 programs today, 4 or 5 that are in the top 10. Women's basketball knock on the door. We believe they're a tournament team. We want them to have that opportunity to compete in March Madness, certainly with us hosting the Final Four. But the recruiting conversation is going to change a lot going into the cycle, where we're not trying to build an entire roster 1 through 14, 15. We're trying to find 3 or 4 of the right pieces to bring them into a winning environment where people have already seen what Coach Miller is capable of. They've already seen the style of basketball that we play. You talked about the defense, winning the jump, the 50-50s, entertaining women's basketball, the most entertaining product I've ever seen on our campus. Well, now we can retract talent that fits what we're building and accelerate that climb and continue to pour momentum on what we're doing. So there's no doubt that the successful year one that we're having just catapults our program into different conversations where we're recruiting talent, we're recruiting coaching talent, we're recruiting fans and donors and season ticket holders and everybody that needs to touch the engine. All winning does is only help and accelerate that in all aspects of the program.
Yeah, and Whitehorn would be an example, right? I mean,
yeah.
You know, she could have gone. I mean, I know she's got some off-the-court issues, but she could have probably gone anywhere she wanted to.
Right.
And
well,
she's coming here.
And it's Ruby has a relationship with coaches on our staff. She has a relationship with players on our team. She has a relationship that's developing with Coach Miller where she understands I will thrive in this environment. I'm fortunate to have this opportunity. She's been very accountable to mistakes and decisions that she's made, but she understands that she's got another opportunity to really write her story and catapult her into a different conversation as a young woman and contribute to this program, contribute to ASU, contribute to the broader community and the things that she's interested in and not take that opportunity for granted. From a basketball player, she's going to be among the best players in the country. And that's not the reason that you welcome her in. You look at the total person and her total experience and how she fits in the culture, because you can't compromise that culture with what we're starting to build. But coaches have identified her as a value-add person that's earned this opportunity to really correct her own path and really contribute beyond basketball. And so that's one of many examples that we'll see in the coming weeks of just talent that wants to join this system because they know they're going to improve not only as a basketball player but as a young woman in all aspects. Thanks, guys.
You had a run in when you get hired 1,000,000 miles an hour. I thought about this, but this was obviously bid for, and before you start, so like, how was that? I never asked you that, but how was that jumping in to like, okay, wow, like taking over the program, athletic program, getting to know all the coaches, getting the programs, corporate stuff, and then, oh, hey, by the way, Graham, here's a 2026 Women's Final Four.
Yeah, we relish these moments. We embrace the opportunity to host a mega event like the Women's Final Four. I always say better busy than bored, right? So we do pretty good at staying busy in all aspects of what we do, and so this has been on the map since probably pre-COVID, and so certainly it was attractive knowing that, hey, we're in that cycle of hosting the men's Final Four 2 years ago. We're in that run of 3 years hosting the men's and women's golf championships. Now getting a chance to be part of the first women's Final Four in Arizona, the first one west of Texas in quite some time since it was in Denver last. So it's what we do. We're happy to contribute. We're happy to donate back the time and energy that it takes to produce an event like this. We take these opportunities very, very seriously to be the host institution. And so I just say it's a day in the life of being a Sun Devil.
Absolutely. And then when you hear her talk about the obviously going to arenas for 28 and 29, like just, I'm not arena, stadium, like they do.
Well, that cut off, and I don't know why. But nonetheless, yes, 28, 29 being arena. So as for that, yes, let's hear from, we're going to hear from Coach Miller. As she again was there, obviously representing, and it was a great. The video was great too, as they all four of the Arizona coaches. Yes, Coach Miller from ASU, from NAU, that school down south, and Grand Canyon. Again, very very awesome to see like what's going to be going down, and. But yes, here is Sun Devil head coach Molly Miller.
Well, I asked Graham pretty much the same thing. I mean, obviously it's different from your aspect because you're coaching a team, but I mean, you get hired. This was obviously bid for and won a long time ago, but like being on this panel and everything with the 2026 Final Four, the season you're having, but I mean, in the back of your mind, you got to think, man, first year here, it would be great to go to the Final Four, and now you're on the panel. What's this whirlwind been like?
Yeah, there's a little bit of motivation when the Final Four is in your backyard, not just for this year, but for future years. We've laid a foundation that's going to springboard us into success, and all that is a testament to the buy-in from our staff, to our players, to the administration, to the school. What I love is this is creating inspiration for me. And to see the commitment to women's basketball on the inside has been amazing.
Now, I know they talked about obviously the free concert and all the like the free events, but I mean, obviously you were at GCU when the WNBA All-Star Game was here, and obviously it was an Olympic year, so the Olympic team's playing the All-Star team. But I mean, you were near this area, being downtown. You know the energy it has, but it's just how do you feel like an event like that catapults coming in? Obviously, this was already won, but catapults into like the Final Four being here the whole week in Phoenix.
Storytelling is at its highest with events around the Final Four, mega sports events that we host in Phoenix. We're really good at that, by the way, so I can't wait for this to be our first Final Four that we're hosting. But when you can tell stories, you get people interested. And there's so many more stakeholders now, whether that's businesses and corporations. I'm walking into arenas and I'm seeing families, young and old generations, grandparents, 2-year-olds, excited about women's basketball. And that's motivating for me. I think it's motivation for a city like this to embrace our game, with the Phoenix Mercury having so much success. And now there's some buzz around what we're doing. Just matching those things with a phenomenal community that supports our sport is really special.
And then I'm not getting you in trouble with recruiting, but I mean, you talk about inspiration. I've seen it a few games just around parents bringing up their toddlers to you and their little babies, and they're smiling at you in early recruiting.
Yes.
But when you talk,
no recruiting violation with the 2-year-olds.
Absolutely. But I mean, when you talk about the inspiration though, but to piggyback off that, I mean, what's it like to see, and like you said, whether it is young boys or girls, just that smile on their face about what basketball can do, like the dribble, through Phoenix events, stuff like that, but just the inspiration that, teams, players, everything events like this bring.
I hope they see our players. I hope they see players at the Final Four on this national stage, and they are inspired. They think, I've got dreams, and maybe I can chase them, just like Marley does or Gabby does. And I think that's really special because you're part of someone else's story, and someone else is a part of your story. And when you have this platform, how you use it is important. So what I've seen, whether it's our Molly's Minis section or the Read Across America groups that are coming, sports teams that are coming to our games. You want to be an inspiration. And at the end of the day, if you leave this sport or this field making an impact, that's what you want to do.
Bam. And she's right. And that is what you want to do. And you can't, like you said, when she said, they've talked about it, you see the little kids with their Sharpies waiting for, the autographs and the players after the game, and the tradition that the women have had for a very long time, going back to when Charlie Turner Thorne was here, and after the game, wins, they'll go around and, high five the crowd sitting down there and go through and then ringing the victory bell, which has always been just a phenomenal tradition. So absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And she's right. They've definitely inspired. But now we are going to hear from Lynn Holtzman, who is the Vice President of Women's Basketball for the NCAA. And because I want you to hear obviously about the arenas and again, just the growth of the women's game. ESPN's Meg Aronowitz, the Senior Vice President of Production for ESPN, was there, and they're going to have a mini compound. Production-wise, and what they're rolling out. So, again, and I'll bring that to you guys later. But again, just realize it is there, and it is going to be phenomenal, to say the least. And like I said, it's a phenomenal job. So but yes, so without further ado, here is Lynn Holtzman, who, again, the Vice President of Women's Basketball for the NCAA.
Downtown, having the footprint here, knowing that now being called Mortgage Matchup Center, the Convention Center, the hotels. We need more hotels than we thought we did in 20, for example. Yeah. So the response in that way, beyond the core components, and it's just expanded, has been rewarding, because that's a testament to the growth we've experienced. The community is going to see that then coming back because of economic impact.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Hey, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Lynn, do you mind if I ask you a few more questions?
Sure.
So with, obviously, like you said, a Phoenix hosting many times, and the men's here and just big events in general. So when looking at it, like you said, when they're saying to add to it, what makes it, outside of hosting those events, more attractive to be here?
I think there's a lot of things. Number one, it is the experience that this community has with large sale sporting events. I recall back even in the bid, one of the if you will, pitches was that Phoenix has done college football playoff, they've had Super Bowl, they've had NBA, WNBA All-Star. This is one of the portfolio of large sporting events that they had not secured yet. So I think it became very personal at that point. Phoenix and the way that this community has continued to grow with the level of hotels, the number of hotel rooms, the size of the convention center, those are all things relative to our event when we have not just what we described today, a lot of the fan events, but you also have the Women's Basketball Coaches Association coming in town, and they have things that they need, that they will be having a lot of their sessions at the convention center, the hotel needs that they have. It was also very clear about how this community supports events. So there's a lot of needs around volunteers to help support all the events in order for us to execute this at the level we need to, and to have an active member school as Arizona State. And you heard Graham mention this up there, is that they really help support everything in venue with game operations. So to have an experience in school and their athletic department involved, those are all the things that when you're doing an event like this, you can't assume that it is going to be successful, but they have to be successful. So to know we're starting at that baseline is huge.
And then you mentioned obviously going to domes in 28 and 29 for the championships. I've always had friends ask me throughout the years, the first round games, obviously like the number 1 seed and number 2 seed getting home games. And again, I understand with growth things take a little bit of time, but at the same time, for years I've had friends saying, why do they not play like neutral sites like the men? So I mean, well, obviously with testing the domes in 28, 29, is that something you guys are looking like to grow to as well? Like those first round, like it's going to be close for the home team no matter what, but just kind of, or the number 1, I shouldn't say home team, number 1, 2, 3 seeds and stuff like that. But is there kind of like maybe a growth that avenue to kind of take it the same way as the men's?
There always is, and across the board for the championship, and that's the role of our women's basketball committee and some other strategic conversations that we have. So we've been for Final Four, women's Final Four, we've been in domes before. This isn't a new thing, but it is intentional in the way of having 2 years in a row to have that type of experience. And because of the growth attendance-wise we've seen and the demand, so there's a strategic reason for that decision that was made for 28 and 29. So when you think about the earlier rounds of the championship, there are unique elements compared to the men's basketball championship, but it's been with high engagement of our programs and our members around where we are in the sense of the business model around the championship. And when I talk about engagement with our members, we surveyed our members. We talked to them about, is it time to move to neutral? And the women's basketball committee recently did a full evaluation of that. And ultimately the decision based on feedback from our members and the business model was not yet, but we that is our goal, is to move to that. And we have a sustainable model that allows us to continue to evolve the championship in a way that best serves women's basketball. One of the reasons our programs talk about for those top 16 seeds having the opportunity to host is that they're still working to build grassroots fandom within their own campuses. So by doing that with the NCAA championship being as a platform, that is a way for them to continue to invigorate sustainable fans over the years. But as I said before, it is a review that our committee continues to do and is committed to doing again. They will now and again a couple of years, because they just decided for the next few years to keep this model. But we continue to challenge ourselves to make sure we're evolving this championship in a way that best serves our teams and our fans.
And then speaking of evolving, when you talk like when ESPN obviously programming said like they're gonna have a whole compound set up. I mean, when you hear that, like obviously all the hard work you guys do, and I mean it comes down, like you said, to good basketball. Is it good basketball? And that's what, again, whether you're a purist or not in any sport, that's what you want to see. But like when you hear that, I mean, obviously I know you're excited, but is it kind of like a pinch yourself moment? Like, man, we've come a really long way.
It definitely is a pinch yourself moment. I can say that having played women's college basketball a long time ago, but to see what the game looks like now, as I said, the game we see on the court and what the players are able to do within the scope of the game itself. But you look at this coverage, you look at the attendance strides and really advancements that we've made, you look at the financial investment that's happening, you look at the public expectation around our game and what fans are demanding when you have a major sporting event for what they want their experiences to be. We are in that elite level, so we have to continue to make sure that our championship is being responsive in that way. But it is amazing, and personally for me, in the years that I've served in this position, it really is. It's so meaningful to be part of something and to have a role with other leaders for us to continue to find ways to transform the sport and championship in a way that is like the best thing we could do for women's sports and women's college basketball.
And then my last one for you, and when you look at obviously you're saying that, but like the WNBA, I'm sure you were here like when the All-Star game was here, and I mean it helped that obviously the Olympic team, they had the Olympic team, but I mean when you saw like the events with like that here, how much of like, wow, we can really I mean, like you said, the fan engagement's there, but you can build off this. How exciting was it just to see that?
Oh, it's huge, and I think one of the unique things for women's basketball, the ecosystem of women's basketball, if we just pick at the three entities, so NCAA women's basketball, the WNBA, and USA Basketball, we have a unique opportunity that it is essentially a year-round sport. The NBA and men's college basketball are on top of each other. We have this tremendous opportunity to continue to elevate our sport when we go from the college season into the WNBA season, and every 4 years we have the Olympics, and you continue to showcase these players, and the quality of the game continues to increase. So here in the city of Phoenix, as they've done these activities, I mean, the success of the Mercury, the WNBA All-Star Game, everything that is certainly primed and positioned this community to fully embrace the Women's Final Four. The relationship we have in NCAA Women's College Basketball with the WNBA, the leadership, the Players Association, and USA Basketball to make sure that, again, this Women's Final Four is a gathering place of all of those leaders and those participants, and it is the place to be.
Lynn Holzman, you see right there, and it will be the place to be because, again, the events I have planned, I'll get more and more into it. I'm so stoked, lucky that it's here, going to get to be out there, all that phenomenalness. So that is my point, my friends. If you, and you hear her say that, but yeah, 28 and 29, Indianapolis and San Antonio, like in the domes, and more exposure, and not just, yes, arenas, it's awesome. I mean, basketball arenas, they're obviously NBA arenas seats a good amount of people, but to get into that dome area where, again, we've seen the men's Final Four and championship games there for years. And I get a popularity difference, but just, again, the talent of the women's game. And yes, I do appreciate, and Graham did appreciate Josh Bartelstein, the CEO of the Suns and Mercury, saying, because he's a Wolverine, saying that Michigan and Arizona State in the final game, and he put it out there twice. He looked at Graham. Graham's like, I like this guy, but no, absolutely awesome. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm going to bring you obviously a ton more on this. Just wanted to bring a lot today because, again, that's why we started a bit. We're finishing a little bit later, but I am going to wrap, obviously, on Sun Devil Athletics, as tonight the men's hoops team, as you know, is in Dallas taking on TCU. Now, the men definitely need this win, as we know, as it was a tough one. Again, at Baylor, Pig Johnson, Coach Hurley was on the radio this morning. Pig Johnson has rolled his ankle, and I guess Santi Truitt, sending him that positive pitchfork lunch vibes and mojo coming on the show, but I guess he aggravated his. Gravovich has a tight back. So, yeah, I mean, it piled up against Coach this season, and it just keeps piling. So we'll see what happens, but they are taking on TCU tonight. And just to remind you guys that TCU is 7-7. They're 500 in conference play, 17-10 overall. The Devils are, again, 5-9, and again, looking to see if they can beat TCU with a mass unit, beat Utah, and then Kansas and Iowa State close out the season, head to the Big 12 regular season, and head to the Big 12 tournament on a high. And look, I'm not chuckling, making fun of them, because I would never do that. But the injuries, it's just the frustrating part. And you see the competition, you see the resilience of a team, and to keep battling and in games that they've been in. But it's just about staying healthy. So we'll see what the lineup looks tonight. But yeah, I mean, coming off that, 73-68 loss to Baylor. I mean, they're at TCU again, a winnable game on CBS Sports, mind you not, on CBS Sports. So they have a very good record on CBS Sports, my friends. So we'll see what they can do there. 7 p.m. though, local time will be tip off. And yeah, just would love to, again, see, just again, for their work. And yeah, it sucks, but again, nobody's gonna, like you said, not that, like Coach Lingham, nobody cares. It's not that they don't care, but nobody's gonna feel sorry for you because they got to deal with their own issues. Baseball, as you guys know, 7-0, my friends. Coach Bloomquist absolutely rocking it, taking on their first of 4 straight SEC teams as they are in Norman, Oklahoma. at L. Dale Mitchell Park. And it's on the SEC Network Plus. So just so you guys know. And it's also going to be on 1440 a.m. First pitch at 3 p.m. local time. And at 3 p.m. local time, first pitch. So you can listen on 1440 a.m. or if you have the SEC Network Plus, or follow along at sundevils.com and you can get your live updates there. But it will be on radio. So they take on the Sooners. And I mean, yeah, for Coach Bloomquist, absolutely awesome. And by the way, forks up to, I'll get to that in a second, but baseball-wise, Oklahoma is ranked 13th in the D1Baseball.com poll. They are number 13 right now, as they are 7-0, like the Devils. The 7-0 Sun Devils, though, not on the rankings. Not on the rankings list. So, yeah, that's but they are 13. As like I said, they are 7-0 right now. As well, they've already beaten two Big 12 teams in the Shriners Children's College Showdown. Shriners Children's College Showdown. They beat Texas Tech 10-3, and then they turn around and beat Oklahoma State 10-1, and beat another Big 12 team, number 10 TCU. They beat them 12-2 in 7 innings. They beat New Mexico State 10-6, Coppin State 22-1 in 7, and then Coppin State 24-0 in 7, and then Coppin State 11-0 in 7. So, yeah, and now they take on ASU, who, again, no disrespect, you know me, it's competition. Somebody's out there, but a little bit deeper and better than Coppin State is again, like I said, just a little bit deeper and better than Coppin State. So that's where Oklahoma's at. But, yeah, having their run-of-the-mill with Big 12 schools, as, yes, they are 3-0, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and TCU. Very good team. And like I said, for ASU, as they take on Oklahoma today and tomorrow, and then Thursday's an off day, as I'm sure Wednesday, after the Oklahoma game, which is at 3 p.m., they'll just hop on over from Norman to Dallas and or I say Oklahoma City, Tulsa, one of the two. Hop over to Dallas and be part of the Amegy Bank College Baseball Series. Again, taking on Mississippi State, as we did in football, Tennessee, and A&M. So, who are taking on in football next year? Very cool. So, yeah, but the first of, 5 games in a row with SEC teams, but, 2 with Oklahoma. But Oklahoma's the first of 4 straight SEC opponents. See where they stack up. Coaches had no problem doing anything like that. Then they come home. They don't have any midweek. Again, coming off of that schedule, I wouldn't want a midweek. Guys are going to need a breather. And again, I'm not saying load management, different sport. I'm not, but No, but then next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, LMU is here at Phoenix Muni again, 6:35. Oh, Friday. Ooh, 6:35 on Saturday, and then a 1:05 on Sunday. So that'll be cool to see that. Not this coming weekend, but next weekend. And then, March 10th, Tuesday, guys. Circle it. Do not let any blue and red into that stadium. Sell out the tickets. Do not let them in, and let's humiliate the Cats, who are, well, they might be struggling a little bit. Just saying. So yes, don't be bashful there as we see it. But that is who they have. Women's hoops tomorrow night. Like I said, BYU. Guys are going to talk about that a ton more tomorrow. Wanted to get the women's Final Four out there again. We just kind of, it was last minute that I remembered this event and was able to go out to it. So either way, just keep running, keep pushing forward as Sun Devils do. So forks up to Coach Bloomquist. They said baseball 7-0. Forks up to Coach Bartlett and softball, who entered the rankings and is just absolutely crushing it. So they are there. That school down south is ranked a little bit higher than them right now. But again, Sun Devil Classic this weekend, Thursday through Sunday. You got a lot of chances to see them at Farrington. So get your butts on out there, and we can make it. And you can again make it happen. So it's definitely worth it with baseball out of town, hockey out of town, swimming, Big 12s out of town. Oh wait, I do need to check and see if there's a lacrosse score update right before we sign off. Nope, they're taking on Marquette, and it was at 12 at the lacrosse stadium, soccer lacrosse stadium. So I do not see. It's on ESPN Plus, but nonetheless, as the Devils are up 18-13 with 12:21 left to go in the fourth quarter. So that forks up to the Devils there, the ladies, as they're rocking it. They scored 4 in the first, they're at 4-1. And then they scored 7 in the second, but Marquette did come back with 6 of their own. So at the half, it was 11-7 Devils. And then the Devils scored 5 in the third, but Marquette scored 6 again. So it was 16-13. And then the Devils have 2 in the fourth. Marquette hasn't scored. 11:51 to go. Absolute money. Sun Devil goals by Lydia Oldno, no surprise. Tegan Eng, Addie Shevitz. Lydia Oldno has 2. And then Tegan Eng has 2. Addie Shevitz has 2. Jordan Behar scored the last 2 for the Devils. And then Tegan Eng has a hat trick. I take that back. She didn't have 2. She has 3. She has 4. And then Jordan Behar, scored again. And then Tegan Lowry scored. And then Addie Shevitz scored again. Tegan Eng made it 15-10. And then Jordan Behar made it 16-13. Jordan Behar made it 17-13. Lydia Oldno made it 18-13 as it is now. So Oldno, if this holds up, oh no, Jordan Behar scored the first goal. But yeah, I mean, absolutely money from Sun Devil Lacrosse right there. So they're up 18-13 now with 10:19 left to go, wrapping up over at the Sun Devil Lacrosse Stadium. So soccer lacrosse stadium. But that is going to do it for me on your Taco Tuesday. Again, make them spicy. Put some jalapenos in there maybe. Maybe I like a little jalapenos, maybe a little cilantro. Sriracha, who knows? You could do sriracha, Tabasco, Frank's Red Hot. A little bit of spice. I like a little bit of spice. Say it's maybe you like your tacos that way as well, too. So have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday, though. I will see you tomorrow, normal time, same bat channel. And thanks to reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. It is hashtag our state. Yes, school down south. Just remember that. It is hashtag our state. And yeah, you should always recall it as our state. So you guys know it. Go Devils. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a safe rest of your Tuesday. Go Devils. And as you know, as always, my pitchfork lunchers, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag. 3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again.
Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Of this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. This one the other way. Still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter.